Okay, hi Sagittarius. We are doing your Samhain Wheel of the Year reading right now. Sorry, just a sec. Thanks. I wanted to switch the light because I'm a little worried about glare. Anyway, I started doing this reading for my collective last year, and so with Halloween coming up, it is the end of the Celtic year and the beginning of the Celtic New Year. It's also something that I used to do initially just for myself, but with last year moving back to Nanaimo, I started doing this for each of the 12 signs of the zodiac, and I'd like to continue doing it this year. Please check the description box for everything you need to know. My name's Ashley. I am clairsentient, clairaudient, claircognizant. I want you to check out your rising moon and Venus sign for your additional messages. This will serve as your November monthly read as well as your reading for all of the individual months for 2024-2025. What we're going to do first is we're going to, I'm going to let you know the songs that I heard during my channeling prior to doing this reading. We'll go over an oracle message from the Divine Circus Oracle. And then we'll do some magnetic poetry, followed by drawing a card for the heart of the spread from the Major Arcana Deftones Tarot. And then we will use the Joie de Vivre Tarot by Paulina Cassidy to draw your spread and clarify with the with the Deviant Moon Tarot for each of the months. I think that's about all I have to say. I'm fairly certain I did it all in very little time. Nonetheless, the songs that we had for you for this reading were Joie by the Pixies, Elect the Dead Live by Serge Tonkin, You and Whose Army by Radiohead, Be My Man by Nostalgia, Mockingbirds by Mark Lanigan, and Entertain Me by Blur. That's out of 4,438 songs that I just hit shuffle on, and I kind of just listen, and whatever comes out, comes out. Please take what you will and leave the rest. We're going to start with an oracle message now. Normally I don't read out of guidebooks for my oracle cards, and I don't typically use a lot of oracle decks. But I felt this was appropriate to read out of the guidebook, and this is a message for you for 2025. Anywhere from November of 2024 all the way through to October of 2025. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to split the deck for this one. All the cards have already been pre-shuffled, but of course, as I'm talking, I'm going to make sure that I continue to share with you on camera. So something that you should probably, and I will, of course, share timestamps too, which I forgot to do there for that message. Yeah, but I'll make sure to go back and kind of review. I'm trying to keep these as short as I possibly can, but of course, I have YouTube Pro, so I can walk around and I can turn off my screen and I can do other things on my phone while I'm listening. But again, I will timestamp for you. For you, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what is your oracle message for the coming year? Okay, so we have number 5, Brilliant Virgin. And I'll look that up and read the message for you from the guidebook. Of course, it's going to take a minute to look up. So there you have her. And of course, it's got to be like one that spans a couple of pages, of course. We need to be bold of heart and have a lot of faith when there is an ideal within us yet to be manifested in the world. We have to trust in what we see in our hearts, even if sometimes the eyes in our heads see things rather differently. We have to trust that the inner vision, the hope, the dream within us is going to be strong enough to stand the rigors of birth and be able to come to life in the world. Sometimes we have to trust that we are enough, that we have goodness, value, and worth, and so are worth the time, effort, patience, and commitment required to transform our ideas into realities. The Oracle of the Brilliant Virgin brings you a message. Stay true to you and your course. Do not allow yourself to be swayed by another, no matter how well-meaning their intentions may be or how impressive their arguments may seem. You see, know, feel, believe in something that is good, pure, and true that needs to come to life in this world. It is meant to be original, so people may not get it straight away. It is meant to happen through you because you understand it in a way that others may not. This could be a choice to do with health, lifestyle, relationships, money, or work. It could also be a project, an idea, a creative expression, dream, or vision that you are growing in your heart. There are times when it's wise to open up to creative collaboration and to compromise for a group venture to move ahead. This is not one of those times. Don't be afraid. Some people believe that unless you compromise, success cannot happen. This is not true for you at this time. So do not water down the strength of your vision or your dream. You are meant to be birthing something unique into being. The world needs your originality. Pray for courage and trust yourself. There is a healing that comes along with this. So to help, take the wisdom offered and put it into the best use in your life. Find a white scarf, piece of clothing, or towel. If not, you can imagine you have such a thing in your hands for this healing trick. Say out loud, I trust myself. I trust my dreams and my visions. I trust in what is different and unique and original within me. I have enough courage, strength, patience, and trust to stay true to myself, so my visions and dreams will come to life in the world. The right opportunities, people, and situations are attracted to the originality of my undiluted dreams. There is brilliance in me, and I don't need to compare myself or compromise on what truly matters to me. I just need to be myself, and all else happens according to the graceful help of the universe. Hold up your white cloth, real or imaginary, drip it over your head. Maybe you cover your eyes with it if you like. Imagine, visualize, feel, or pretend that a waterfall of white gold light infuses your white cloth and is pouring over you. Do this for several minutes. And then say out loud, my thoughts, my beliefs, my visions, and my dreams are pure and protected. They are untouched by negative influence. I remain true to my heart and soul always. So be it. If you have used a white cloth, you may like to place it where you can see it as a confidence boost and a reminder to trust in your own brilliance. There is an additional affirmation that comes with this. That is, I am original and true to the purity of my heart. My dreams are uniquely my own. I stay true to my course until all I dream of comes to life in the world, with the universe helping me every step of the way. And that's your oracle message. That was rather long-winded, Jesus. Anyway, that's for you, Sagittarius. With that being said, we'll move on to magnetic poetry. Looks like I'm going to have to go back and timestamp when we started talking about the oracle message there. I want to say it was like 3:55 or something. So that's where I'll put it. But let's look at the magnetic poetry for you. Going to do this in list form. Normally I do it at the beginning, the end of a read. But I thought it would be better to kind of mix things up for this one because it's going to be rather comprehensive and it's going to require a little bit different of a setup. We didn't get a lot that time, so I'll grab some more. Okay. That's all we have for you. So you can play around with these. You can kind of figure out where they kind of fit in for you. Any sentences, any keywords that mean anything to you. Quite a little list for you. But is what it is. We're going to move along to the shuffle. And the shuffle is an opportunity for me to look at any channeled messages, but also kind of get the heart of the reading here for you. Again, this is the minor arcana deck the major arcana deck of the Sorry, I'm just distracted because I'm writing timestamps of the Deftones Tarot. It only has the major arcana archetypes in it. This is going to be the overall theme for your year. Now, please remember that when I do shuffle up and I do your cards for the year, month by month, and then we move into clarification, I only take flippers and jumpers, maximum of 3 at a time. I will only be taking 3 clarification cards if I can for the, each of the months there, okay? These have already been pre-shuffled, but we're going to make sure that we only take a flipper or a jumper. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what is your overall theme, your overarching theme for this next year? I'm already hearing The Archer by Billy Corgan. I'll go under if you go too. We're from the sun, we're born anew. And what did I say about taking 3 maximum? Of course, it was going to test me, right? So we have the Death card in the upright. You may be a Scorpio, Sag, Casper, followed by the High Priestess and the Devil in the reverse. So your overall theme is very multifaceted. First, we have the Death card here. And I mean, it's interesting that we have this one as well, because you very well could be one of either the Sagittarius Capricorn Cusper, which would be indicated by the Devil, or you could be a Scorpio Sag Cusper, which would be somebody born closer to the middle of November. But here there's ending. There are endings that you're either coming to grips with or transformation of some sort. Death and rebirth. Cycles of things ending and things beginning are prevalent during this year for you, and the understanding of where those are necessary, where they are a necessity for you to come into things that are opportunities for you, where you have to transform in some way. I mean, with that is the High Priestess. The knowledge of that is something of an intuitive thing. However, occult knowledge is, kind of indicated here by the High Priestess, as well as secrets. Where is it healthy to keep secrets? Where is it not healthy to keep secrets? And where does your intuition guide you? It's not, anxiety, but intuition. And what is the difference in between anxiety and intuition? Piscean energy on that. These two are bedmates. And I think it's really interesting that we have Hades and Persephone, also known as Pluto and Persephone, because here we have the Devil, Capricorn. Capricorn is the, we have Pluto in its final degrees of Capricorn during November 19th, which is when we'll almost be moving into Sagittarius season for the last time in 200 and some years, 254 years, I think it is. And it's really a time of death of patriarchy, death of restriction, death of limitation, new things, transformation into the innovative energy of Aquarian, the Aquarian path. But there has been a lot of trial and tribulation associated with restriction, the Father, Chronos, time, karma, the things associated with the Devil energy that is Capricorn. So I think it's interesting that those two are placed here with this. I think that you've been feeling that, especially if you are a Sagittarius Capricorn Cusper. But then with the Devil in the reverse, it's asking you to call into question whether or not you are profoundly, holding a profound respect for all the things that are built upon the earth and your indulgences. Do you indulge to the point of excess, or are you respecting the things that are here for us to enjoy and indulge in, of course, but only to the point of enjoyment, right? So those can be things like sex, good food, good wine, shopping, spending, in general, gambling, but it's all the material elements of earth, the worldly things. Are you indulging to enjoyment, or are you indulging to excess? And are you holding those things in high regard? Is it time to transform that? Is it time to examine that from a restrictive space? Is it time to lift those restrictions for yourself? Where have you been tempted, and where do you need to moderate? More than that, it is about having the appropriate level of respect for those things, where it's okay to imbibe, but it's also important to be responsible. I think this year is about putting to bed some pain that you've been living in since 2008, though, especially, and that you intuitively knew was coming with these two here together. Persephone and the Death card, High Priestess and the Death card. Have you been beating a dead horse with the devil there? Indulging yourself in the same feeling over and over, and understanding that there is a need to move on and move forward, and that you cannot continue to hold on to the past because you become a glutton for punishment, and gluttony is a piece of this devil card. I'll go under if you go too. I'll go under if you go too. She follows him. Right? She descends with him. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the Joie de Vivre tarot here. And they've already been shuffled up, and I'm going to shuffle on camera again just for the benefit of you feeling comfortable with it. We're going to move from November 2024, month by month, through to October 2025. And then we'll read and clarify as we go, month through month. Hold on a sec. I think my dryer is set up for 20 some minutes instead of 45. 1 second. Okay, sorry. So let's take a look. Shuffle some more. 1 sec. I like this light better, sorry. Okay, yep. So let's get going. Let's go cracking. Twist for fairness for you. Somebody wanted to see that again. Twist for fairness. Didn't do it as good at that time. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, starting with November 2024. What is your first card? November 2024. We have a flipper. Queen of Swords in the upright, Libra energy. Libra energy for you there. I think I might need to turn on the light, and I don't know why I'm shuffling again, but I am. December 2024. Okay, what do we have? We have two. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse and the Seven of Wands in the upright. January 2025. Strength card in the reverse with the Nine of Swords in the reverse. February 2025, Sagittarius. Interesting. Let's just knock this into the upright. I'll keep it in the reverse. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. March 2025. Pace the steps with you. Wasted around a teardrop as it explodes. Hierophant in the reverse for March. I'm really kind of bothered by the fact that these are kind of glaring. April. Six of Cups in the upright with the full reverse. I'm just forever is undone. I need to mess with this light a little bit. Give me a sec. Maybe this is as good as it gets for tonight. I don't know why it's all of a sudden darker than it's ever been in here. Let's try that out. Who's honest? No. It's too many. May 2025 for you. Sagittarius. We have two. Death in the upright with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. June. We have one that's flipped. A Ten of Wands in the reverse for June. Ten of Wands. Why can't I get like a good... Here we go. Ten of Wands. July. Knight of Coins in the reverse. August. August for Sagittarius. Okay. Two of Swords in the upright. September. And the Five of Swords in the reverse. And finally, October 2025 for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We have a flipper and a jumper. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, followed by the Chariot in the reverse. Bottom of the deck for you. We have the Seven of Swords in the upright. Treachery, deceit, sneaking away from camp with the swords while the soldiers sleep. Either as a way of preserving the peace or as a way of hiding something like lying in omission, etc., etc. Let's do your read. We're going to use the Deviant Moon Tarot for you to make certain that we get everything kind of out in the open, expand on everything here appropriately. I know that it's been a pain in the ass, and we've done this whole thing where we've switched lighting during your video a lot. I think you're having a hard time adjusting to some circumstances or your surroundings during this year coming up, from the present time into the year coming up. Acclimation to things after some endings has been tough. And you're trying your best, but you may not be in your comfort zone yet. So let's see. There's this feeling like permanence evades you. Anything permanent evades you. It's like I was saying, the archer for the sun, where forever is undone. Forever being undone. But let's see what we have here for you. It's just going to be 1 second. Okay, let's shuffle up and clarify. Using the Deviant Moon Tarot to clarify. Queen of Swords is your first position here. Libra energy on the Queen of Swords. It's about equilibrium, justice, fairness, the weighing of the scales, balancing, and I think that is for you, coming into balance, trying to balance something in November. In particular, if you are a Sagittarius Capricorn cusper, you might be finding that you're attempting to balance the feeling of loss that you've encountered since 2008, since Pluto is going to be moving out of Capricorn. And you might have been feeling that energy as a Capricorn Sagittarius cusper, if you are one. The feelings of loss and grief. Also important to note with this particular card in this deck, the key there, this Queen of Swords is holding, this is Libra energy, by the way. There's a key to your balance, that you need to come into realization with. There is an imbalance that you're attempting to reconcile, and there is a definitive key to how that looks for you. Nobody can tell you what that is except for yourself. Of course, we will attempt to gauge that here. Tell us more about the balance. Is this about fairness, justice, equilibrium? What is it? Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Virgo energy. This is hearkening back to, of course, the energy that you'll be encountering during July, because over here in July you have the same energy. So a Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. You could be looking back to something that occurred during September. That could be the key itself. There's stillness. It's energy that should be carried outside of you, as opposed to towards you, because it's in the reverse. Slowest moving knight in the deck has actually come to a standstill in the reverse. It's energy that should be slow and methodical and carrying outwards from you, towards something tangible, either energetic, spiritual, or material in its nature. But you're holding off, probably because you feel off kilter. Comes back to something in September for you, though, as the key to this, maintaining balance or regaining some semblance of balance. Tell us more. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Everybody's been getting the Queen of Wands in its reverse state. Queen of Wands in the reverse is Aries energy. All of my queens I see as cardinal energy. Feminine Aries energy. This is an individual who either is an Aries Taurus cusp individual who is off balance, volatile, emotionally charged, irrational, scorches with their words, and has a very extremely quick temper. Somebody who rules by force, is fear-mongering, and just generally overtly sexual, but also kind of uses their feminine wiles to get what they want. Abuses them in a lot of ways. This doesn't necessarily, as I was saying to, I believe it was Scorpio, when we see the court cards, it isn't always necessarily indicative of somebody who possesses, they're not always people. Sometimes it can be an invitation for you to embody those qualities yourself, or an invitation for you to mitigate negative energies within yourself. there's a quickening, like a quick temper here, for sure, with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. But it's also somebody who's very flashy in their jewelry choices, flamboyant to the point of gaudiness as well. You could say not a very nice person in its reversed state. As we have two reversed cards there, it kind of makes me want, yeah, and then another reversed card. You have a lot of reversed fire within you, so it's a lot of hot energy, a lot of need to settle down, a lot of like unsettledness. And where is it that you find stillness? You need to learn to practice stillness. There needs to be rest as opposed to the restlessness. Page of Wands in the reverse is a message that isn't being delivered. It's a message of passion. Normally I see this as somebody delivering a message of passion that sees them skating on thin ice. Of course, that is indicated by the card itself, just in the direct translation of the illustration. However, this is also somebody not speaking to something that could be inspiring, not delivering an inspiring message, just not communicating things that are passionate, creative, not communicating their ideas effectively. Not being strategic and methodical. The action that you take is more volatile and emotionally charged when it does come outside of you. And you're not communicating from a creative and passionate, inspired space. And that's what's keeping you from being balanced at this time. Or alternatively, there's a feeling of a lack of fairness or the need to right the ship as far as that goes, because there's a feeling that there's justice that needs to be delivered. And the key could be not speaking in that manner, not exercising that volatile energy, and using careful forethought in the correct manner as opposed to being cunning and deceitful. Are you being strategic and methodical, or are you being cunning and deceitful in your actions? During December for you, we have the Seven of Wands, which is defensive energy. It's feeling the need to defend oneself and protect oneself. With the Six of Swords in the reverse, this is no movement forward. In fact, sometimes it can be seen as regression as opposed to progress. With the need to defend oneself, it's almost like you're defending yourself for not moving forward, not making progress, and not taking a trip overseas or over the water, which is often something that you see with the Six of Swords, because it is somebody in a boat taking their swords across the water from something that is burning that they want to leave behind them, so that they can go to far off shores that hold more promise for them. You're defending yourself and you're on guard about a trip or something where you did not go over the water, or you did not move on or forward, leaving something else behind. You're defending yourself for your actions and your choices not to do so. This can also be going backwards, taking a trip back to something else. Tell us more, like revisiting something. What are you on guard from, and what is this about for Sagittarius and Moon, Rising, and Venus? A little under the weather, not gonna lie. Yeah, 7, you're on guard for not protecting yourself or not being defensive enough. This wanted to come out sideways. It's almost as if it's like you're defending yourself and you're on guard and defensive about not being defensive, or not being on guard, not protecting yourself in some manner. Having to defend oneself about why you've let your guard down in some sense of the word during December. Tell me more. What is the Six of Swords about? What are you going back to? Back to a state of healing and meditation, the process of rest from healing a heartache of some sort. The need to take time for quiet, rest, repose, sleep, sleeping it off under a tree. The need to be able to take time to oneself to go inwards, not, but like literally like rejuvenation, meditation. Going back to meditate over something about heartbreak. Because the Four of Swords is, you know, the need for spiritual rest following the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak. You're rising from that state. And that's what you're revisiting, is how it felt to rise from a state of rest and recuperation. Tell me more. December. Cancerian energy on this Queen of Cups. Highly intuitive, feminine Cancerian energy. Somebody who's extremely poetic, watery, poetic, connected with the emotional self. A very emotionally intelligent individual. Somebody who is secure in their heart space, but also very, like, they're waxing poetic. They save every drop of that water because they recognize the preciousness of emotion, preciousness of following one's intuition. Connected with the moon phases. Also, Cancerian energy. It's being carried towards you. Any energy that you see that is moving in this direction is coming towards you. If it was going in this direction, if this individual is facing this way, it'd be something that you are carrying towards somebody else. Like action moving out from you. Or communication moving out from you. Somebody is offering you a cup, and that's why you're not going across water, or you're feeling on guard and defensive about not taking a trip or going over water or going overseas or not moving on from something, or you're defensive and on guard about being defenseless. In reference to this Queen of Cups individual, there's somebody who gives you every drop of their emotionality. They do not spill their resources. They save everything for you. They don't take anything for themselves. They give it all to you. They know when to give of their heart, and they know when to hold it back and protect it from others. They're very selective of that. Their cup overflows, but they save every drop because it is so precious. They recognize the preciousness of it. And they're very poetic about love and their love and how they share that. Protective over it. Sorry, I'm tired. My ear hurts. January, we have Strength in the reverse, followed by the Nine of Swords in the reverse as the overarching theme for January 2025 for you. There it is, the need for courage. But also could be a loss of like a loss of temper, anger, Leo energy on the Strength card there. Could be January 8th. That happens in between January 8th and January 9th because we have the Nine of Swords with it. I think there's bravery, combating anxiousness, worry, sleepless nights, the sick bed, because that's what the Nine of Swords is, the courage to combat it. Or anger and volatility because somebody isn't necessarily acting as if they're worried, or they aren't losing sleep over something that you think they should be. This could also be somebody who is hogging the spotlight or an attention-seeking type individual, but you're not worried about it. You don't have a sense of anxiety or worry about it. You're not losing sleep over something in January that has to do with this. The Strength card classically is taming the inner beast. You're not troubling yourself with taming that. Tell us more. And again, I said January 8th or 9th is significant because we have card 8, Strength card, with with the Nine of Swords. I thought I didn't. Did I not just do that like literally 25 minutes ago? I don't know. It can't have been 42 minutes. Temperance. Yeah, you're losing your temper. You're losing your temper over something. Sagittarian energy, that's you. Sagittarian reversed with Leo reversed. Not losing any sleep over it. You're losing your temper on a Leo because of their attention-seeking behavior, and you're not losing any sleep over it. You don't have the anxiousness and the worry and the volatility associated with it during January. Oh, this is also because, and the reason is because you have healed yourself in some way. Tell me more here. Okay. We have the King of Swords in the upright with the Fool in the reverse. You think it would be a risky endeavor to go ahead and do that. You're not feeling adventurous or like taking a risk. So it's almost like you feel like it's, yeah, okay, it's foolish. It's foolish, direct translation. It's foolish to lose sleep or to become anxious over having lost your temper against this individual. Aries energy on that. You don't want to look the fool. You might lose your temper on somebody because they make you look like a fool. They make a fool out of you. And again, and not necessarily sitting up in your head about it because intellectually you know it's the right thing to do. King of Swords is Aquarius energy, so 8th or 9th, yes, but then also this could happen during the 19th or 20th of January, which is when Capricorn energy switches to Aquarius energy. The King of Swords is judges, magistrates, corrections officers, parole officers, guards, lawyers, police officers, anybody who has to do with the criminal justice system, somebody who whose head rules their heart, somebody who rules with intellect over intuition or emotionality. So intellectually you understand that it would be foolish to waste your energy in anxiousness over the fact that you've lost your temper, or somebody else loses their temper. Alternatively, somebody else loses their temper and you understand that your reaction is exactly what they're looking for. It'd be foolish of you to react in a manner that is not becoming of you. It would make you look foolish and stupid. You're not going to be anxious over the fact that you're not, reacting. Yeah. February, we have Ace of Cups energy. This is a renewal or either a new or a renewal of a relationship, of emotional fulfillment for you. This can also be friendship, but a great deal of the time we always see this as romantic stirrings, something that is new and exciting for you, or something that is rekindling within an existing relationship, or something reaches a new level within an existing relationship for you. Tell us about this. For Sagittarius. That's too many. For Sagittarius. What is this Ace of Cups about? Ace of Cups for Sagittarius. Okay, Three of Pentacles in the reverse with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. There's deception afoot here. I see this not as Aquarius energy. I see this as Libran energy with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody is beginning a relationship, or there is renewal within a current existing relationship. However, there is a little bit of dishonesty here about how somebody is dedicating their energy equally within themselves. They're divided within themselves between mind, body, and spirit. There could also be a little bit of a feeling of how this relationship began, where somebody was saying that they were just friends, or that they just had feelings that they were on a friendship level with somebody. But they knew different. They understood that it wasn't just friendship, or that there was an impending offer that would eventually arise out of it. It would definitely eventually become more. They weren't being honest. They understood that this offer of friendship was going to become an Ace of Cups at one point. And during February, that energy either comes out, or during a conversation in an existing relationship that comes out at some point. Tell us more. That's too many. I'm getting tired here, which is good because I didn't sleep last night. For February. Tell us more about this Ace of Swords in the reverse. Okay, we have a flipper and we have something that fell. Oh, we have two that fell. The star, so this is Aquarian energy. Hope. There was hope. Somebody was holding out hope that this would become more than just a friendship. And they lied about it. And they were dishonest about it. And they were waiting. They were waiting. So they held out hope. They had faith that it would become more. And they had their eye on the star. A star is a wish or a goal or a dream for something greater out there than what one could just immediately have on a whim. You must always know that the stars are behind the clouds, regardless of if the clouds are present or not. You always know that the stars are behind them. And somebody had to wait. Somebody had to sit there and wait for their seeds that they planted to grow into fruits of their labor. And they were shocked to find that this was the case. Either they're shocked to find this was the case and that there was deception afoot, or they were shocked that this relationship began. There's a surprising event here that created the circumstances that this could be possible. Scorpio energy on the tower. Towers aren't all bad though. And they don't necessarily have to be upright or reverse. Sometimes pleasant surprises. Pleasantly surprised. I had to wait for sudden and surprising, sometimes shocking events to happen in order for the planets to align, for the stars to align. Thank you. For the stars to align. For the stars to align. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's during February. It could be a conversation that happens during February too. March, we have the Hierophant in the reverse. This is Taurus energy. It's about the fall of highly structured religious institutions or organizations where there's a lot of dogma or permission versus not permission involved. Somebody not following sage advice, or counselors, religious figures like priests, therapists, that kind of thing. But somebody who's giving like bad advice, you know. Tell us more about this. I just got my crown chakra opening up huge here. Like a guru who's giving bad advice. Give me one sec. This is often seen as a culture or religious organization that is taking advantage of its followers as well. Just wanted to mention before I pick this one up. So we have here lack of balance or equilibrium, or balancing things out, the charity or the charitable, Libra energy on the Six of Pentacles here. It's an organization that either takes too much or gives too much. More than likely it's an organization that abuses its followers by taking too much, and a great example of that would be there are some cults that operate as churches that tend to ask for donations or investments from their followers, or you cannot achieve a certain level of spiritual awakening without, giving XYZ amount of money. That kind of a thing. March. Tell me more about March. Yeah. And there's a feeling as if this is an organization as opposed to a religious item, it could also be that there's a need to invest appropriately before you can see returns on your investment. You might be chomping at the bit and feel that you're not permitted to move forward on something because you haven't placed the appropriate amount of investment in it just yet. You would like to think you have, and that there has been equilibrium and equal give and take in a situation of energetic, spiritual, or monetary value. However, you're not at a point just yet where you are starting to see the fruits of your labor, and that's becoming frustrating to you because you're not getting permission to move forward in an organization as a result. You know, this could result in some pain or heartbreak for you, in some semblance of the work during March. The realization that there's so much more work that has to be done, or a feeling of betrayal because it almost seems as if it doesn't matter how much of yourself, your energy that you put into something. And believe you me, Pentacle investment is time. Pentacle investment is tangible energy that you express from yourself out into the physical plane. It's the reason that our feet hurt, and our hands hurt, and our back hurts, and our eyes hurt, and our voice is shrill, and we're tired, and we need to get a good night's rest, or have a long hot bath after a hard day at work. But there's pain associated with this. There's heartbreak associated with this. It's almost like the realization that the establishment or the organization or the institution was misappropriating your funds, and I'm not a fearmonger by any sense of the word. I'm just kind of interpreting things here and reading my tarot. But like the feeling that your investment was not being taken seriously, or the things that you were investing, not necessarily always money, but the things that you were investing were all for naught, that you betrayed yourself in a way, or that the organization betrayed you in some manner. In April, we have the Fool in the reverse again, which we already saw up in January, followed by the Six of Coins, which we just had in March. There is a residual feeling bleeding over from March into April where you're feeling foolish for the efforts that you put in. It almost seems like you put in more than you received in return for something. It makes you feel foolish, and you're not really feeling like taking risks moving forward through April to invest in something else, or to give freely of yourself into something else. As a result, you don't feel the adventurousness of providing or being the charitable as opposed to the charity. There could also be a feeling of that it's risky to ask to borrow something or receive. So that's just kind of something that is appropriate because it does come off the back of March's energy, right? Tell us more about this for April. Sagittarius' April energies. Tell us more. Why? Yeah, because of your judgment calls. Maybe something has come out in the wash. Somebody is realizing something after a day of atonement. This is Aries Sagittarian energy, so this of course could have to do with you. It is the trumpeter's call. It is paying the piper. It's the time when somebody comes to realize the decisions they made and how they have impacted their future. The reaping of what one is sown is nigh in April here. It can also be a call to action that there is a decision that needs to be made, or that you have made a decision. And your decision might be the safe decision with the Fool in the reverse, or the risky decision. I think it's more the safe decision, the conservative decision, the decision that offers you the most equitable, of any endeavor or relationship, whether it be the romantic side or the tangible, practical side of things, because it doesn't really tell us here. With the Emperor, most certainly Aries energy on this, and we would be in Aries season for April, so that's appropriate. You're confident in your decision making here with the Judgment card. Confidence in one's decision making. You also see there that we have the goat under his scepter. So somebody who absolutely is confident in their decision making and has their temptations and indulgences under control, and that's why they are confident in the decisions that they have made. This is somebody who leads with a firm hand as opposed to through fear. Somebody who is not volatile, is more dominant from a positive light. The fire that warms rather than burns. And they're confident in their decision making. It's leadership energy there. It could be the thing that you're feeling most confident in making a decision that does not involve risk, or one doesn't feel that it's like inequity. Do we have anything here that should have come out with that? No. You're trying to keep under the radar, but it's also, this is the other reason that you're not trying to make decisions that you aren't confident in or that are not equitable, and trying to avoid the risk-taking adventurous behavior, because there is a time and a place for it, and you're attempting to avoid defeat. You're attempting to avoid that loss of battle, the shame associated with it, the embarrassment. Normally this is a victory homecoming performance, celebration after a battle where there's much jubilation and attention and accolades, whereas here it's the opposite of that. It's shame, it's embarrassment following the loss of a battle or victory. So let's see what we have for May. May for, I think my boyfriend's watching The Office, and it's Andy dancing to Footloose. It is. Anyway, May 2025 for Sagittarius, we have the Death card with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Don't panic though. This can be a transformation of a relationship. There could be a transformation or an ending so that something new can begin. In regards to something that did not reach the height of its emotional fulfillment. Scorpio energy on the Death card there. It could be something that got so close, but in May it ended and you're contemplating it now. But as you can see, somebody is traveling towards this 10 in reverse. It's forward movement. So it's transformation for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. Sometimes these can be family dynamics or friendships too. But it's the ending of a cycle so that a new cycle can begin with that Death card. Even things like a time warp to a time when there's an opportunity for one to reach the height of emotional fulfillment in a connection. Let's see. Tell us more. Ending something that one once thought was going to be the Ten of Cups for them, or transforming it so that one can realize, where one had made mistakes or went wrong in that regard. Tell me more. Tell me more. Page of Cups in reverse. There is no apology here. There is no communication of an emotional sense. You could be thinking back, but you're not. You can't be. Because it's not reversed. It's an ending so that new things can begin. A transformation. A new form of something. But there's no emotional communication, no apologies. You make no apologies for something having ended here. Might be cutting off a connection that was once an emotionally fulfilling connection. But it's like there's no sweet communication, sweet surrender. For this time of Lachlan. Tell me more. Doesn't mean much. Doesn't mean anything at all. Doesn't mean much. Doesn't mean anything at all, right? The life I've left behind me, right? With that death card, somebody leaving a life behind that no longer serves them. Connections that are not emotionally fulfilling, don't speak to their highest good. Places where they don't feel that people are amply investing in them and their happiness. Don't support their happiness. Let's see what else. You don't want to speak about this. Meeting of the two. There's a conversation here. Ending something, transforming something, coming back together. Not being at the 10, but being at the 2. 10 and 2. May, 10 and 2. And there is a meeting of the minds, a meeting of the two. I always call it the Two of Cups. There's two individuals meeting together for drinks and discussing, as opposed to having that little tiny communication. What else? In May, there's the transformation. It's like a time warp. With the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. Lovers being a choice. There's a choice being made. This is the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Libra energy in the reverse. Sometimes choosing yourself is a choice too. Somebody is choosing something based on a lack of fairness, justice, and equilibrium. Not feeling that something was fair or equitable. Gemini energy. It's during Gemini season. A Libra in the reverse is somebody who is imbalanced, isn't a fair person, deceitful. You made your choice after sitting back and surveying things further to understand better something. You could be, this could be stuff that you're talking about during the conversation over drinks. But you understood better the Queen of Swords in the reverse, the Libra energy in the reverse. You understood that somebody was not fair, they weren't just, they didn't want to treat you like an equal, they didn't want to be treated like an equal, they didn't want things. So somebody who was after notoriety, attention, the spotlight, Leo energy. But they didn't ever want to hear no, and they became somebody who did not keep people warm. They became somebody who bit with their, bit and burnt. Somebody who wasn't interested in being someone who kept people warm, was only interested in if people could keep them warm. And also somebody who says no a lot. Because it's a lack of a wish. It's no instead of yes. In June for you, we have this Ten of Wands in the reverse, dropping of burdens and responsibilities. And therefore, completion of a cycle. Finally being able to let go of something that was burdening you heavily, but also, what are your commitments in life to make you feel burdened? What's the heaviness on your shoulders about? In June of 2025, dropping a burden and responsibility for you. Tell us about that. You're unburdening yourself. What are you unburdening yourself of? So devil is Capricorn energy. The devil is also indulgences that no longer serve, but indulgences that require a profound respect for all that is built upon the earthly plane. You're unburdening yourself of a lack of respect for those things, or some of the temptations that you've had, addictions, things things that you indulge into the excess, choosing your direction. You're unburdening yourself of the need to choose something. Choices could give you anxiety. You're taking your blindfold off as well. Taking the blindfold off for the purposes of making a sound choice. Exercising good judgment. Tell us again, tell us more. Anything else on that? You are... You might definitely be a Sag Cap cusper. You've got a lot of that here today. Lack of offer. No new material, energetic, or spiritual beginning on the tangible plane. You might have been expecting an offer that didn't come. The realization of this helps you to unburden yourself of a responsibility that you once were taking very seriously. But because you see no beginning or no new beginning or no offer in the future or during June, you're kind of letting go on it. You could be indulging a little bit as a result, kind of drowning your sorrows. That one belongs there. Knight of Coins in the reverse. This is Virgo energy during July. During July, you have Virgo energy. It's kind of at a standstill, stalemate, the slowest moving knight in the deck. Now, this is action that is carrying outwards from you. It's very slow, methodical, strategic action centered around a material, energetic, or spiritual matter, venture. However, because it's in the reverse, it's traveling away from you, or rather, traveling towards you as opposed to outside of you, or at a standstill, completely stagnant and lost. I lost for words I'm hearing. That's Virgo energy. And what's interesting is that even though it's not Virgo season in July, you also have the Hermit. You're isolating yourself. And the reason you're isolating yourself is because you need to go into the self-discovery to later emerge with a personal truth of some sort. Tell me more. July 9th might be important. And then we have with it the Hangman. Yeah, and also not just to, gain some visibility onto the deep personal hidden truth through isolation, but also because you want to sit back and understand other people's perspectives. You want to look at things from all aspects. You understand it's going to require time to do so, though. So that's why you'd prefer to sit back and kind of isolate and figure things out for yourself. You need to be able to see things from all angles. It's going to take some time. It's Piscean energy on that. Coincidentally, Pisces and Virgo are opposites on the zodiac wheel. What else do we have here? It's way too many. Hold up. It's funny because I've got Cities in Dust by Garbage. I think that's like a Susie in the Banshee song. It's kind of been in my head while I've been traveling through the cards here. What else? What else in July? What are you attempting to gain perspective on other than that deep personal truth? A Capricorn individual who may not seem comfortable in their home space. They're not really exercising a whole lot of ambition right now. They seem like they're not themselves or not really connected with the self at this time. It could be that they're isolating, and the reason they're isolating is because they're looking for their own personal truth at this time. You could also be trying to strategically and methodically take action towards this Capricorn individual. Again, this could also just be you, because if you are Sagittarius Capricorn cusp individual, you would have that in your chart, at least in your card spread, right? It's just there's a feeling that you're not connected with the material world as much as you should be, or the luxury and finery. And that, or it's this person is an additional Capricorn who feels that way, that's in your midst. August, we have the Two of Swords, which we just came out of that energy in June, just to fall right back into it during August. Again, we see the person with the arms crossed, the swords in front of the arms folded, swords crossed in front of them, blindfolded. It's being in an impasse, not really in moving in one direction or another, and not having no concern for which direction to travel in, or an urge, even the urge to move in one direction or another. Oops, that's too many. Tell us more about this for Sagittarius, August. Tell us more about the lack of eagerness to move in one direction or another, the lack of drive to do that. Why? Tell us more. Okay, so first we see that might be gossip afoot. It might be gossip, but it could also be that there's a feeling that standing still is better than celebrating and look like an ass for celebrating something. You could be aware that individuals are talking about you, and so you'd rather, or that they're out and about having conversations, gossiping about you or people that you're involved with. You feel it might be best to turn a blind eye to that, and don't make any sudden movements. Thank you. Don't make any sudden movements. You also don't feel that it's an appropriate time to celebrate for some reason. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, you don't want to be out and about and have somebody gossip with other people about you doing something impulsive. You could also be avoiding taking impulsive action towards others as a result of you going out and celebrating something that in the future ends up being fodder for the gossipers, right? That's Gemini energy there. In particular, a Gemini individual could use it as ammunition for gossiping about you, to assassinate your character, or in the Knight of Swords has a silver tongue. King of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles. You don't want something to result in you not being offered something of value, ruining or derailing a peace offering, and then also hitting you on your home front with your wealth and warmth. Taurus energy with the King of Pentacles, where you preside over a place and provide stability and security to those who you love. And that impulsive action is something that you're attempting to avoid. That's why you've got the blinders on and your swords crossed in front of you. During September, you have here the Five of Swords in the reverse. This is being aware that you are no longer deceiving yourself in a situation. Also kind of being at an impasse, deciding that you do not want to fight, but you do not want to lose, but you don't want to win, because winning would be losing, etc., etc. Stagnancy, yet also realizing where one deceived oneself. Tell us about that in September for Sagittarius. I am getting tired super quick. But it doesn't help with these lights because they're super bright. You can't just stare into them, you know. Wrecks your eyes. Or you get a migraine. What is the self-deception? Okay. So we have self-deception about something that you had walked away from, that in September you are looking at returning to or reconciling with, or somebody could be doing this to you, or they're coming back around again. You're deceiving yourself about it, telling yourself that it's something to be excited about when it may or may not be. Chances are this person just didn't have the capacity to learn how to exercise self-love with the 9, so they're circling back around to the scene of the crime with the 8, where they should have let something go that no longer served them so they could attain the highest, most perfect, and appropriate connection with somebody else that would serve everybody's greater good. Tell me more. Anything else? But yeah, oftentimes the 8 becomes reconciliation if it's in the reverse. Returning to something. Like the Death card, eventually you do decide, after coming out of that self-deception, ultimately you do decide to exercise Scorpionic industry, what does that have to do with something? Somebody who's a part of an industry, quote unquote, but, or something that's famously referred to as an industry of some nature. But when you're coming out of self-deceptive energy, finally, about this reconciliation, or about somebody returning back around after they had left the 8 Cups, and didn't really follow through with their plans of exercising self-love, etc., 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 and they come crawling back, there is this feeling of you ending things after realizing the self-deceptive energy that you've been living in for quite some time. You're no longer deluded. Thank you. Delusion. And I don't want you to take offense to that word, but that's something that comes up here. Okay. There is burden and responsibility that you feel in ending something when it comes to this, merry-go-round of crazy, going back to the 8 of Pentacles thing. I'm sorry, not 8 of Pentacles, going back to the 8 of Pentacles. Why am I saying that? Somebody could be getting a job soon, or be looking at returning to a previous career during September of next year. But what I really meant to say was 8 of Cups energy, returning back to something that you had walked away from in search of something greater. You realize that even though ending it seems burdensome, it is a great responsibility of yours to yourself. We don't repeat mistakes, right? Finally for you, October. Man, I'm just like super consistent with time on these. In October, it's funny because we have the 8 of Coins in the reverse with the Chariot in the reverse. There was a planned trip or travel or relocating in October of 2022 that does not happen. There's a halt to that forward progress because there is somebody who is not working, or something isn't working. More than likely, though, given the fact that it is 8 of Coins in the reverse with this Chariot, this travel or movement or trip or relocation, honestly, the Chariot is my relocation card, but the reason that's not happening is because somebody is not working, somebody is not employed, or they're not making the resources that are necessary for this to happen. There's something that's wrong with the job. Tell us what is wrong there. Wow, you were super efficient on that one. I can't even take them all. What the hell, I'll take them. We have 4 cards here. I'm getting tired, so I better. Right? We have the Magician in the reverse. Everybody's been getting the Magician in the reverse, which is weird, with the King of Wands in the upright, the 7 of Swords in the upright, and the 10 of Pentacles. I think this kind of goes hand in hand with what we saw down here in March, as far as deception, something that's an organization that's not necessarily being its most forthright with you. Comes from February all the way through, but more than likely it's unequitable energy that comes through with that Hierophant there. We see this in the Magician in the reverse for you in October, where somebody may have, the job isn't all it's cracked up to be, or somebody had made like a job was a certain thing, but it was a trick. smoke and mirrors, illusion, deception in the vein of somebody making something appear the way it was not. That's that Virgo / Gemini energy of the magician. With that, you have somebody who is warm, nurturing, Leo energy here, somebody who is a fixed fire sign, confident, has pride. Pride before the fall is coming to mind here. So it could be that you have somebody who's a very proud individual, very proud of their accomplishments, and is not willing to admit that they have been fooled into something. It's going to result in somebody not being able to move forward, to delays in travel, the inability to relocate. There was treachery, though, and I think that's the biggest thing, is that a lot of this illusory energy that you're seeing here in front of the Eight of Pentacles is at the hands of somebody else. It's treachery, it's deceit, it's somebody in a precarious position, but they were put there by somebody else. Unless you were super talented, you were not getting that sword up there by yourself, you had assistance. And it's more than likely who you were working for, or that is not all it's cracked up to be. Something I'm hearing. However, at the same time, you do realize that your legacy is what you're after there, and that sometimes the sacrifices need to be made so that you can achieve that legacy, so that you can achieve preservation, and even just simple realization prior to preservation of the things that survive you when you no longer exist on this earthly plane. Overall energy for you, Sagittarius, is that which you believed had eluded you in May's energy, where you initially had the Death card there with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. What you're really looking for is the ultimate emotional union, family feeling, a happy home life. And you know that you can have it. You don't have to be treacherous to obtain it. You know that you can live in balance with another human being, and you can have it. It's just a matter of navigating things. And I think you can see here is that all lives, whether it's yours or not, all lives to some extent have trials and tribulations, and they ride the roller coaster of the year. There's prosperity, then there are pits of despair, but we all do eventually realize our goals if we kind of take notes along the way and learn lessons that we're supposed to. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to close out here. I apologize that I've gotten drowsier and drowsier and drowsier as I went along, but it's getting to be my bedtime. Thanks, Sag. Do this if this made sense. Do this if you like what I do regularly, etc. I'm thinking of doing a Lover's Path Tarot, either mid-month next month, at the end of the month, or during, I already said mid-month next month, as the December read. I might be even ahead of schedule a little bit, but nonetheless, thanks again for watching. We'll see you when we see you next. Okay, bye.